nerdy friends, and welcome once again to a fresh take, culture and comics. I am your host, Dan Friedman, aka the Danny Fresh. You can find me over on TikTok, on the Twitter, as all that under that handle. Listen, we got so much news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. We got a ton of trailers, and that's what we're going to be focusing on this episode. If you're watching in the live, when we get to start showing some of the trailers, you can watch with us and let us know which ones you most want to see, but we've got them all loaded. A couple quick things of housekeeping before we get to it. If you saw my previous show, I talked about an upcoming interview with writer-producer Dara Resnick, who, among many other things, was one of the co-executive producers on Daredevil from its Netflix run. She is co-show running The Horror of Dolores Roach for Amazon and Blumhouse, and is in production right now. And so due to some scheduling conflicts, we had to reschedule. So we're working on that. We will get that interview to you, but that's why if you're seeing this as the next episode, it's not her there. We're going to talk about all the news that came out from San Diego Comic-Con and comic book news that's rolling outside of the trailers and upcoming shows. And we really have so much great content coming. So you know the drill. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. We're like 3/4 of the way to our 200 subscribers, where we're going to do our 200 subscriber giveaway. Showed these books in the past, but some of these key characters for upcoming Marvel shows. And if you follow me on TikTok, or if you don't, go check me out there. We are getting really close to our 800 follower giveaway, where I'm going to be giving away this Jenny Friesen variant of 8 Billion Genies issue 1. That series has gotten so hot, which I told you about that here. I told you about it on TikTok, so I hope you got your copies. But if not, here's a chance to win one for free. And as we go through some of the trailers that did drop, I'm going to show you some comics that you might want to look out for that I think are, will do well with the oncoming projects. And listen, I said it last week. I've said it in the past. I told you a while back, get your Hercules keys before Thor drops. I hope you did that. Told you get 8 Billion Genies before it sold out. And then last week's episode, I said, go grab your Riri Williams Ironheart keys. I hope you did that before San Diego Comic-Con, because as we get to the Black Panther trailer later, that horse might be out of the barn. We try to get you ahead of the curve here. And I still got some other books for you to be thinking about moving forward. I'll hit them up in just a little bit here. We try to think ahead of the spec cycle a little bit. If you're just reacting to it after news drops, after characters are confirmed, you're just chasing, already inflated dollars. So just super quick, what we are not going to cover. If you came here looking for the Ant-Man Quantumania trailer or the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer that are not officially released, we are not going to cover those. They've been leaked online. If that's what you want to do, go get them. But Marvel's not officially released them, so we're not going to touch them. But we will hit all the other main trailers. We're not going to watch the Groot, Moon Girl, and National Treasure. I'll give you quick summary notes on them. But then we are going to literally watch together Black Panther, John Wick, Black Adam, the Dungeons and Dragons, She-Hulk. We're going to do the whole thing. So you'll watch that with us. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring in my guest, a first timer here at Fresh Take. Welcome, Steve Mad Dog Nolan.
Hey there.
Here to do what he does. Listen, just super quick. Let's just do the Moon Girl, Groot, and National Treasure. National Treasure, I don't know if you're a fan of the film. So this is a continuation of the Nicolas Cage franchise, which is wink, wink, nod, beloved, right? It's been made fun of quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. But really, there's not a lot to say. With the teaser, we got a quick, it basically says it's coming to Disney+. So I don't know if you have anything else to add to National Treasure other than just to say it happened.
Yeah, it happened. That's about all I got.
All right, cool. On the Groot one, looked super cute. Very much. I think if you're a Minions fan, it looked like it was in that vein. Groot, but it had a similar kind of humor sense to it. Check it out. The Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur one. I'll be honest, I was a little underwhelmed. I'm not the target audience for it, for what it's worth. But there's a little bit of an edge she has in the comics that looks like they're not doing with the cartoon. I will say this, and I don't know if you watched the Moon Girl trailer, Steve, but if you know what it reminded me a lot of is the Teen Titans Go cartoon, which is a very popular cartoon. My kids really like it. It had a very similar comedic sensibility, similar visuals, and so my guess is that if you like Teen Titans Go, you're probably going to like the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Yeah. That said, what we're really here for are these big jumbo trailer releases, and boy, oh boy, did they release them. Before we get into any of them individually, do you have any like top line thoughts? My big takeaway is just the sheer mass of them all. Right,
it was a lot to keep up of. Just to watch them all, I had to like sit down. I'm like, I need a good chunk of time just to get through all these trailers. But there's a good mix of things.
Yeah, there definitely is a good mix. Definitely is a good mix. I wonder how much obviously the sort of the COVID timeline in the last kind of couple of years played into a real packed release at this con. And I also wonder, in particular with Marvel, it really felt like they've been hearing this noise, and maybe this is some projecting. I don't know. They've been hearing all this noise from some of the fan base about sort of like Phase 4 isn't really hitting, it's not really connecting, it doesn't feel big, and then it was just like they just dropped hammers all weekend long, no pun intended for Thor. Did you get any sense, any thoughts on that from Marvel?
Yeah, it did seem like it is setting up more bigger things, I guess. Because that's kind of the feeling I've been getting with the whole Phase 4 stuff, is just kind of like slightly bigger swing and misses. Yeah, it's like smaller, news stories. So it seems like they want to build it back up into that. Hey, remember when it's all of them type of thing. So
yeah, sure.
I can see it going that way.
Well, let's say I'll give you guest choice. We can start. Let's save Black Panther because I think we could get into John Wick. We could do Dungeons and Dragons, She-Hulk, Sandman, Black Adam. Give me one. We'll get in on it.
We might as well. I got Black Panther first on my notes here, so might as well start there.
Well, I was suggesting we save it just because.
Save that one. All right, fine.
Yeah, I'm saying let's save it. You know what I mean. I feel like we could hit it up. All right. Well, let's take a look at Black Panther. It certainly was the biggest of these releases. So here we go. Let's do it.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. Good friends we have, and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears and say
Well, first of all, I think it's brilliant that this powerful anthemic piece celebrating these cultures of color and women standing in the forefront should be commented on by us. I think we're perfect choices.
Yeah. People need to hear my perspective.
Just what the internet wanted, so here we are. No, I mean, we are who we are. It is, just the best trailer I think Marvel's put out in quite some time. I don't know what your instant reaction to it is.
It's a good trailer. Like, don't get me wrong, it's got me excited for the movie. But my bigger thing, where like again everybody's going nuts, like saying it's amazing. Is it more of kind of like the?
Oh, do we freeze up? Oh, we got Steve frozen up. So,
oh no.
Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on, Steve. All right, try. I think you froze up on us. Try it again.
Oh,
is it
sorry.
More? It's okay. You said, is it more? Go on.
Like related to kind of like the Fast and Furious, like Paul Walker type of deal, where it's like like outside what's going on, where it brings those big emotions in. Because that's like when they did the the drive away Paul Walker thing. I'm kind of like, in the movie, it doesn't really get me all teary. Like if I go outside of the movie, like it gets me. But that's kind of the one thing I'm like, I'm wondering how they handle that. And like, I'm assuming they're probably gonna nail it. But from the trailer alone, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I got there yet.
That's interesting. I mean, it did for me. I will say, to me, there's a pretty stark difference in those two. I understand the comparison you're making. The overall quality, scale, etc. of the first Black Panther film really dwarfs, with all due respect to all of the Too Fast franchise films.
Yeah, they probably won't do a product placement in the middle of the memorial.
We also have my other big thing is that I have just so much faith in Ryan Coogler as a director that I feel like if they're going to come and, I don't think the crew would all sign up to do it, if they didn't think they could really do it right. I assume that the scene we're seeing everybody in the sort of processional where they're all in white is that funeral. My guess is, and I don't know, my guess is that it will be addressed actually, at the very beginning. I think it won't be, I don't think it's going to be a plot point to get us going. I don't think it's going to be like, I think they'll, I can make some wild speculative guesses on how they're going to do it, but who cares really? Let's just see the film in real time. But I think if you trace the arc of the Marvel film era, of the MCU era, Black Panther, from a point of importance and from quality, really was either the apex or right at the apex. So it was really important they nailed this. And then obviously, additionally, the Chadwick Boseman parts. But I thought, as far as like just a trailer unto itself, like sort of the pace and the pulse and the music, the visuals really, really worked for me. So I don't know, outside of the Chadwick Boseman aspect of it, did it land for you as a trailer?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, as a trailer itself, it definitely worked, especially with the music cues. Like, they really nailed those ones.
They're
like that transition was like, whoo, you guys really thought about that one. So that I think I especially liked.
The fade from No Woman, No Cry into All Right.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible.
But I feel like from a general stand, like audience thing, like my first reaction was, oh, they're doing the Aquaman thing. they got those guys. Okay.
Hey, man. Neymar predates Aquaman.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But if you're after the movie, though, you're in trouble.
I'll say that what I thought is really fascinating, actually, about that I don't know if I've connected, is it looks like they're correlating Atlantis, the Atlantean kind of mythos, with Mayan mythos. That looked like a lot of the art that Namor is interacting with, the temples in the background, etc. Even on the shore, where you see at the beginning Shuri and then later Angela Bassett, I believe, in the background is a Mayan temple. So that's really interesting, because that's not from the comics, but and like that sort of golden, the headdress and a lot of the bangles. So that's a really interesting invention that the MCU is doing that's not necessarily in the comics. I think it's really interesting. One thing I will say specific for the comic books, and I was alluding to this at the top of the show, again, if you haven't gotten your Riri books, Riri Williams Ironheart is featured very prominently in this trailer. You have the scene with her and Shuri, grasping hands in. I'm not sure what that room is, in the research lab or whatever. You have her. You literally see her hammering out the iron heart of her armor. So Riri Williams, if you don't know who that is from the comics, it becomes Ironheart. She's sort of an Iron Man successor, and so the next generation of young Marvel characters, one of my favorites. And I wonder if her armor in this continuity is going to be made from vibranium. I wonder if that's what they're gonna. That would be an upgrade for sure. So I don't know what there is to say other than it is very clear that they took the weight of Boseman's passing and were determined to really celebrate that and position it. And I also thought a very clear putting the strong female figures at the lead of this film. I mean, it is very clear, and I think, to me, that's got to be part of the who inherits the Black Panther mantle. I mean, I feel like we're heading towards Shuri. There are some other theories out there, but I know that actress has been signed up to a 12-picture deal, so I'm going to assume, 12 appearance deal. And while we're at it, Riri Williams Ironheart is a 20 appearance deal, so she's going to be a big character
for the next 2 decades.
Yeah. So I don't know, anyone in the live, if you have any questions or comments on Black Panther, we're going to move on unless there's something you want to hit, Steve.
No, I think you pretty much covered all of it. But yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. Where are we? Why am I having trouble finding my? Whoops. The wrong folder altogether. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go very far in the other direction and watch the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, there we
go. All right, here we go.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge. Truth be told, we helped the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
You need to
To give us a fighting chance, we're gonna need strength. You got this, right?
I know you don't.
We also need courage,
back to school.
magic, and you. What is that again? It's an owlbear.
Let's go.
Be warned. There is evil here.
I'm glad he's on our side.
This one's dangerous. But whatever happens, we'll be ready.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
you make plans that fail.
No,
He also plays the lute.
not relevant.
All right. I don't know what just happened there with that last end of that clip, but anyway, Steve, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Just because, yeah, I feel like these are the type of movies that I get excited about.
Okay, do it.
It's
man.
ones that just like it could be just a horrible mess where nothing works and nothing makes sense the whole time, and it's just you're just sitting there dumbfounded. And I enjoy those a lot. So this could do that.
Yeah.
It also could just be, maybe they put all the weird stuff in the trailer and it's just kind of bland or whatever. There's a lot of places this could go.
Yeah.
And that gets me excited. So
yeah. I think it looks delightfully stupid.
Yes, there we go.
I think it looks delightfully stupid. I don't know. But you had me at Owlbear is frankly
that's all we need.
My take on it. I feel like this is well, first of all, and I again, this is going to sound more insulting than I mean it, but it feels like it very lovingly rips off like a lot of other stuff we know and love from these kind of like I don't know, these fantasy films. A lot of we know these beats, whatever it is. Chris Pine's a charming lad. I think my expectations are low. It doesn't have me hype, but I think it could be a lot of fun. I also happen to think this is one of those ones. If you actually played Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't mean like, if you read the comics, it's different. I just mean like, even when you're like fully committed in a game of Dungeons and Dragons, there's a level of like, we're like, I'm playing a make-believe with my friends. It's goofy. Yeah. And so I appreciate that they seem to be, kind of owning that vibe. So I'm for it. When I heard Dungeons and Dragons movie, I did have higher hopes. I thought maybe it would be grander, but I'm not.
I'll take a lowbrow D&D. That's fine.
Sure. I'm not.
There's some. It gives you some good flourishes in there that I'm curious about. Like, is that dragon breathing like rocks or something? Is that something I'm supposed to know? Like, what's going on there? There's a chest with a tongue. Like, come on, these are things.
We slide a secret passage into a room, and I don't know.
Sure. There's an evil like ocarina or something. Like, okay, tell me more about it.
From the Bard. I'm always here for Bard jokes.
Exactly.
All right. So let us. What should we do? Where should we hit now? Audience, what we got? We got 4 viewers in here. What do we want to see? Audience, tell me here. We want to see Shazam, Black Adam, Sandman. What should we do right now?
I want to speak for.
Any requests out there? Why don't we do? Let's do She-Hulk. Let's mix it up here a little.
There we go.
Still in control, no overwhelming feelings of rage.
No, a normal amount of rage.
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Was the air horn really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely. This is a multi-year journey you're about to embark on.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's your best friend?
Nikki.
Spandex. Spandex is your best friend. Being a Hulk asks for balance. You have so much more to learn. Yes!
So I'm clearly nailing it at all of these things.
If you want to go back to your life as a lawyer, I respect that.
He doesn't mean that.
More and more eccentric superhumans are coming out of the woodwork. We're going to launch a division for them. And I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Jennifer Waters. Namaste.
I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Oh. People only care because I'm representing Emil Blonsky. I think they care because they're like, hey, that girl's great. Jen, do your thing. God, I really like this outfit. I'm not proud of this.
Miss Walters, we answer to a higher power. Our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
I am a lawyer. We do things by the book.
The Book of Ashanti.
No, the Book of American laws.
Whether you like it or not, you're now a superhero.
Let's do this. You know that friend you had in high school who was way cooler than you were attractive, got all the attention from everyone? Hello.
I think I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
All right, She-Hulk. I feel bad because I really like Tatiana Maslany. I think she's a fantastic actress.
She was good on Orphan Black. I like that show.
Absolutely. I like a lot of the cameo characters they've teased us here. Obviously, but I feel like Daredevil showing up at the end is like the biggest thing we saw in this trailer. I just think that looks bad.
Yep.
Like I think it looks bad.
It seemed like they trying to make a show out of the and so that happened line. Just keep running that like that's the show. Like that's gonna get old.
I'm like honestly, after the first trailer came out and got a lot of blowback, I don't know if you saw the original trailer. The CGI was kind of rough, and clearly it's so much better now. The CGI, they've made progresses. Whatever. I was willing to be like, it's so early. They were just giving us a little taste of something. Like I'm legit worried about this show. This show looks like. Hold on one second. Let me answer. Yes, that was Dillo. That was in fact Daredevil at the end. And I don't know. This is there was no trailer, but one of the big announcements from San Diego Comic-Con was that Daredevil is getting a new 18 episode series on Disney Plus, but I think it's not till 2024. But which to me the biggest news there, honestly, is that Marvel's finally sort of acknowledging that this 6 episode season length just isn't working for them, which I think has been a big trailer. This trailer makes me feel bad too. I know I really wanted to land, and I feel like sorry, I cut you off with those comments. I don't know if you remember what you were saying.
No, I just don't know like who's this for really. Yeah, like I don't know who's gonna be like, oh good, the quippy She-Hulk is going.
I think and in all fairness, the quippy She-Hulk actually in the that is part of her comics tend to be very witty. She is a lawyer, she's very bright. There's a lot of great language. But it just feels like they're getting this tonally so wrong. Yeah. And it's like, okay, Hulk jokey stuff, but it's like not even, and the other problem with having like Professor Hulk, Intelligent Hulk, that character is, Jennifer Waters, She-Hulk often she plays counterbalance to Hulk, the sort of mindless raging Hulk, because she keeps her intellect and her composure and that kind of stuff. And so if you don't have that, you don't have that contrast, a training montage for a Hulk. I don't know what we're doing here, guys.
Yeah, it's not gonna
and even the Marvel shows I haven't liked, at least when they had their trailers out, I was like, oh, that looks fun.
Could be good.
This is the first trailer where I'm like, I don't want to see this. And to be honest, like, it's like losing the earbud. When I watched it with my wife, she said to me afterwards, she's like, why does that look so bad? And all right. Anyway, so all right, let's stop bumming everybody out. Let's move on from She-Hulk. Sometimes trailers miss the mark. Maybe it's just a bad trailer and it's going to be a good show. It happens. You never know. It does happen.
They're keeping the good stuff for the show.
Yeah. All right. Let's make a big swing here. Let's get back to a show that is one of my all-time favorite comics, and I have been a little worried about some of the early stuff I saw, and then Netflix dropped this trailer. Let's watch Sandman.
Your waking world is shaped by dreams. Dreams and nightmares that I create and which I must control.
He's out there looking for me, isn't he?
Can you imagine the damage he could do?
I need your help. If dreams disappear, then so will humanity.
I could do without dreams for a while. I haven't had a decent night's sleep in ages.
I'm not gonna stop until I've reshaped this world.
Tell us, what power of dreams you have?
I thought about giving up, but I have a job to do, and I do it.
Things have changed.
Your eyes will tell me everything. Every thought, every feeling.
My creations do not walk amongst the living, killing mortals for pleasure.
Oh, you don't think dreams can die? Let's find out.
Nightmares do not belong in the waking world.
Oh, it turns out I fit right in.
Dreams don't die.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
All right. So I got lots of things I could say about Sandman. And I will say that it comes out August 5th, so we're right around the corner. And absolutely, we will be covering that on this channel and covering it pretty thoroughly. But I'm curious, because you actually come to this, I come to it with a ton of baggage. You come to it totally fresh, right? You do not know this comic at all. This is not a, so that's awesome. So from that perspective, tell me what your experience is watching the trailer. What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
So yeah, the first pass through is it looked like a lot of CGI gobbledygook. There's like a lot of like, how many sets do they actually have, and like kind of where can that go? Like, am I going to turn off because it's like a video game all episode, like that type of thing? So I was worried from that sense. It does seem like it might be a bit like overwrought or kind of heavy with kind of what it's dealing with. But I mean,
from is overwrought and heavy with what it's dealing with. That is the nature of the comic.
I was going to say, it seems like it's dealing with like real big things.
Big,
like,
yeah. Big things, yeah.
I mean, but from the comic, I've heard good things. So I'm assuming hopefully it'll get balanced, pretty well. But yeah, that was kind of my first reaction, was like, this could be a lot.
Yeah. Well, I will say I do think that is the challenge. I think that's why it has taken so very long to make a Sandman series. I mean, it is, we literally travel to hell. We literally travel through sort of these metaphysical states. It's a story about the Lord of Dreams. I mean, it goes there. So I'll first say, like just full disclosure, I love these comics so much that I've been reluctant to voice my concern up until this point. I think this trailer looks so far and beyond better than what we had gotten. So I feel better about that. And there's a lot of actors I just absolutely adore in this cast, and
they seem good.
Neil Gaiman is just a titanic creative. And I do think it's a valid thing. I mean, we'll just see how it lands around. I think it's a really valid thing to ask, as people descend to hell and travel through doors of dream and whatever. Like, does that work or does that not work in this medium? But what I do like is they went huge. Like, they didn't try to be like, okay, let's find an appropriate scale way to approach it. So they took the huge swing, and we'll see if that lands. But I'd rather them do that than the other.
Worth a shot.
But I feel like the epicness of this comic that sometimes can get dangerously. The trap is you could get caught in the idea of the Sandman comics and miss sort of like executing the journey. It looks like they executed the journey. So I am cautiously optimistic coming out of that trailer. And very excited for that series. And we will for sure be talking about it here. So, so thank you for humoring me. All right. Let's we got 3 trailers left. And 2 of them indirectly go together. So why don't let's do Shazam and Black Adam, and let's finish selfishly with John Wick 4. Shall we?
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so let's start with Shazam. Let's do that one. All right, here we go. Wait, did you see, by the way, did you see the first Shazam film?
Yep, I did.
Okay, excellent. I did it as well.
I'm an idiot.
It's showtime!
I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow! There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it. Aquaman is literally huge and he's so manly. And Batman is so cool. And I'm just me. I feel like a fraud. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the wizard gave me superpowers. Well, then everybody got superpowers.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
You understand I'm a pediatrician, right?
Come on!
Now let's get down to business.
Listen to me, Billy. The fate of your world depends on it.
What is this?
The daughters of Atlas are coming for you.
Children stole the power of all the gods. This is very personal, Billy.
Look, I might not have as much experience as you, because I'm not super old like you. But I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about family! Family! Guys, that was a signal!
Introducing the star of our show. His name is Shazam! Now let's get down to business.
Your world will not survive this.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
You think I know how to fix this dude, but I really don't.
Billy, everyone can be worthy. Let's give it a chance. Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
Hurry, step right up. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world right now.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Can I get a witness?
All right. Your thoughts, sir?
I mean, I like that he has a complex in this one. That it like starts like without like the meme going around of Batman, like he could just go to therapy instead of beating up like poor people. Shazam is going to therapy, so good for him. But yeah, so I like that part. But yeah, it's a good place to start.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. I really enjoyed the first one at the bar that I expected to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I thought DC really, really struggles to find its tone on a lot of films. And I thought Shazam knew its tone, picked it, executed it. It was enjoyable. I found myself smiling a lot. I found myself smiling through this trailer. It seems like they're replicating what they did the first time. Works for me. I will probably be more than happy to see it like when it comes to my TV than necessarily having to get to the theater. But I think the cast is really charming and the jokes work for me. And it feels like a very this could be an enjoyable film, especially for kids.
Yeah, like the first one was good. Like again, I didn't know anything about it going in, and I was surprisingly like happy leaving it. I'm like, oh, that was much better than expected. It does seem like they're trying to run it back. It might go stale. Don't really know. Like, but it seems like they're trying the same thing. Yeah, so might as well.
And it is interesting that they're very clearly, at least grounding, making sure we understand it's in the same universe as their other characters. So that is clearly made a point. Now, I don't think that they're necessarily going to make any appearances, but at least good for DC to lay some groundwork. Because, like, at this point, I feel like with DC's films, like, nobody knows what that future looks like for those. I mean, it's just kind of chaos over there. I will say this before we head into this little show and tell here. This just super cool comic. You'll notice Shazam, Supes, and Black Adam, which is the trailer we're going to watch in just a bit here. This comic, as certainly gotten pricey recently, but you'd be shocked at how often you can find that for you comic book long box hunters. keep your eye out for that book because it has found its way to kind of stay under the radar. Like the hardcore kids know about it, but you might be able to track that down. That Comics Presents. So, what I am most curious about is to see how they eventually connect it to Black Adam, because as we watch this trailer, want to talk about a tone shift. We're gonna shift tones here, guys.
My powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage. Black Adam.
You believe you are not worthy, but you have two paths. You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior. The world needed a hero. Instead, it got me.
All right. So Black Adam. I like The Rock.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with The Rock.
Dr. Fate's a character I was kind of liked. Hawkman was in there. I don't know what to make of that trailer.
I mean, my question just in general, like, are people like pumped about Black Adam just like as a character? Like, is that kind of a thing? Or is he like in the D list or something?
I mean, not an A list, but not a D. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the best. I don't know. Hold on one second. Let me just check something here. Yes, indeed. Marianne, you're if you're still watching, you know your DC stuff better than I do. Where do you think the general consensus is on Black Adam? Not the film, but like the character. If you're out there, I'll wait for her to respond. But yeah, I mean, he's a character of relevance, but it's a little bit like saying, like, are people pumped for Moon Knight? Does that make sense?
Yeah, same level of like, but yeah.
But I mean, obviously, he's a direct relationship to Captain Marvel. Such insanely different tones. But I also just I don't know what that felt. It worries me that look, we live in an era where trailers tell you like the whole movie. I hate that. Okay, but like, could you like explain some of the I don't know. All I know is The Rock.
I get the tone.
That's what I know.
The Rock's angry about something. Well,
you know, and he's not gonna be a hero. I guess. I don't know. So yeah, go
as soon as Pierce Brosnan showed up, that did help me. I'm like, oh, right, he could be good.
Right. I think he's playing Dr. Fate, who actually is one of my kind of favorite DC characters, to be honest. Dill likes it better than Shazam. All right, fair enough. I like the Shazam. I think it seems goofy, but exactly. It certainly is. I will say this: it certainly is a bigger action pack. You know, it's not the kid film; it's the adult film. Yeah, it looks like it's a big action set piece. I just don't know what's happening.
Yeah, don't know what to expect, but I'm intrigued. I'll get that.
Yeah, sure.
Though watching those back to back, it was interesting to see that like whatever they got Zach Levy on makes him almost look about the same size as The Rock in their get-ups. Yeah. I'm like, come on. Not really. So that was one big
no comment. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's finish this up with I didn't know this was dropping. I'm so happy about it. Look, I want to know your thoughts here, and I think I know, but because I love the John Wick franchise. It brings me joy. John Wick 2, I've watched as much as probably I've watched any action film. I watch it constantly. Nice. A little known thing, there is a John Wick comic book series. I think it's only 4 issues, maybe it's 6. They all have pretty great covers. There's a few different variants. They're not super expensive, and you can probably find them for cover in some boxes out there, or play slight premiums. I would suggest getting them, because if they're going to keep on building out the John Wick universe, and we know there's TV series spin-offs and everything like that, in these media crossovers, when you have first appearance of figures in comics that started in other movie franchises or things like that, those can accumulate quite a bit of value over time. But also the comic itself is just a good read, so keep your eye out for that. But anyway, what's your relationship to the John Wick film franchise?
Fell into the first one, not expecting anything, and fell in love. It's pretty much everything I needed out of a movie. Just super simple, dude going nuts for a tiny reason. Yeah, amazing.
It's so great. It's so great. The formula is so great.
Yeah, it works.
Dog, pencil, Baba Yaga, whatever.
That's all you need.
So they dropped the number 4, and my dog just got up in the background. So I want to get out of here. Let's check out this. Where are we? Where are we, John Wick? Oh, there we are. All right.
Have you given any thought to where this ends? The table will never stop. You know this. No one, not even you, can kill everyone.
You ready, John?
Yeah.
All right. It looks so John Wick.
It is a John Wick movie. I will give it that.
It is.
It has the dookiness.
It has. I mean, it is all the beats I come to expect, and I don't mind it. They can just keep giving me those beats.
Right. I mean, yeah. Going into it, I was like thinking even before. I'm like, do we need a fourth one of these? Like, we've seen it. Like, how much more are they gonna do? Even though like every single one, they're just seeing that I'm just hooting and hollering, like looking screen. But then they had Ip Man in it, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, they found something. I reel back in.
Totally. And like, I love that, they always have that one, at least one, if not two, big set piece battle scenes where they've got some kind of like illuminated glass room. It's like you have to have it. It looks like now we've got a katana blade end gun dual fight scene. Sign me up.
That was what got me.
Sign me up. You notice the guy with the digit missing. I don't know if you saw that, when there's one of our mysterious characters who's new shows up at the Continental with the digit missing. It's the same digit that John had to have cut off in the third film. So whoever that person is, they must be following a similar path. John, something.
Share this.
I'm here for the war against the High Council. I love that they said no one can kill everyone, not even you, John. And like, I guess the whole premise will be like, well, let's see.
Let's see if you can do it. Yeah, he's gonna try.
Seems to be what they think. Everything. So I'm for it. I'm hyped. John Wick. I don't know. It just hits all my right notes, and this trailer did nothing other than make me want to see the next John Wick film.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, so we do have the House of Dragon trailer, and we were sort of on the fence of when we were going to go in. I think I'm going to hold it. I think we've already at 50 minutes here.
Yeah.
And
all my thoughts would just be about the original Game of Thrones, and not really that anyway. So,
and that's really fair. And that's really fair. And to be honest, I'll give this top line summary. I thought the trailer looked pretty good. It doesn't. I think for every Game of Thrones fan, whether casual or intense, we kind of ended this series in some range of feelings.
Yeah,
there wasn't a wide disparity. Like, we all had some variation, whether it was more accepting or less accepting, but I think we all kind of feel like it didn't land exactly the way we wanted. And I think there's a lot, but I think historically HBO is a place that does it right. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see whether they nail it. And but anyway, we're going to do Lord of the Rings trailer breakdown with a special guest who is has significantly greater knowledge than I do about the Lord of the Rings books and mythology and all that stuff. I wanted somebody who really could dive deep, and I think it might be a good time to do that and the House of the Dragon trailer and look at those together. So that'll be a future show. One quick last note here. I'm assuming this refers to John Wick. Some of the best fight choreography on any film. Totally agree. It's just the best. It is such a blast. It's just an absolute blast. So, and honestly, if they land 4, I'm trying to think if there's a 4-film run on any like franchise that I'd rank as high, to be honest with you. I know it seems weird because it's like
4 is
it's
a
not
lot.
so big of a film,
Weird number.
but 4 is hard to like, you know. So, yeah, let's do it, John Wick. All right, guys. Well, as clearly Comic-Con dropped a bunch. We tried to hit a lot of them. We'll be following up with more news, talking a little bit more of the comic news coming out of it. We've got a bunch of great shows coming down. We'll hit some of these other trailers, some of the other comic news, some of these interviews. Thanks as always for joining us. Stay classy out there, you nerdy kids. Thank you, Steve, for joining us for the first time.
You're welcome.
And
Thanks for having me.
Catch everybody the next time. Bye.